Hi there. In this channel, I very frequently talk about developing and improving our internal value system, having a higher order of value system. And the fact that we can even talk about value system points to the fact that we as a race, as a human race, are better than any other animal out there. No other animal is able to think about value system and to reason about why they need to have a better value system. Now, apparently, according to Paul MacLean, an American neuroscientist, he says that this ability to reason was a new development in the evolution of the human race over hundreds and thousands of years. Initially, we only had the reptilian brain, the reptilian part of the brain, and that is really very basic brain, which is to feed, to fight, to flee, and to fornicate. So this is the initial development of the human brain. And then the second stage, which is the mammalian development, the old mammalian development, was the ability to have emotion, to get angry, to get jealous, to be sad, to be happy. And that is the second stage of the development, and the final stage is the ability to reason. And it's very easy to move from number three, the third stage, to the first if we don't keep our value systems in check. And as a cultured being, as a human being, we need to really constantly remind ourselves of our value system, and that if we don't keep this value system in check, we can easily fall down and identify with the reptilian, which is to fight, to feed, to fornicate, and just for food. So let's see what happens in the reading that we have for today, which is the Holy Gospel according to Mark. Now, it's from chapter 6, verses 14 to 29. It talks about the opportunity that came on Herod's birthday when he gave a banquet for the nobles of his court, for his army officers, and for the leading figures in Galilee. When the daughter of this same Herodias came in and danced, she delighted Herod and his guests. So the king said to the girl, "Ask me anything you like, and I will give it to you." And he swore her oath, "I will give you anything you ask, even half of my kingdom." She went out and said to her mother, "What shall I ask for?" The mother replied, "The head of John the Baptist, the head of John the Baptist." The girl hurried straight back to the king and made her request, "I want you to give me John the Baptist's head, here and now, on a dish." The king was deeply distressed, but thinking of the oaths he had sworn and of his guests, he was reluctant to break his word to her. So the king at once sent one of his bodyguards with the orders to bring John's head. The man went off and beheaded him in prison. Then he brought the head on a dish and gave it to the girl, and the girl gave it to her mother. When John's disciples heard about this, they came back and took his body and laid it in a tomb. The Gospel of the Lord. It's a very sad story that Herod, the king, was strict by his wife. Now, what has it got to do with values? Now, Herod is a man of values. He didn't want really to kill John the Baptist. It was not his intention. But he succumbed to the oath that he made to his daughter in front of the noble people. So he had to stick to that oath, and that was part of his ego, his emotion. Ego is, to me, an emotion. So his value system was overridden by his emotion. Now, I think most of the time, even for me, I find very often that my ego overrides my value system. And it's hard to recognize it unless you really look out for it. It's easy to think or to blame someone else, but if we need to really strive to recognize that we need to keep our egos in check so that it doesn't override the values that we have, and let us strive to set ourselves apart from the reptiles and the mammals, and let us be humans. My thought for this evening. Very good day.